Chicago man says he did the unthinkable when he discovered alleged squatters in his property. He decided to move in with them. Marco Velasquez is the owner of this Southside property, which is on the market to be sold. He says his realtor came by with a potential buyer, but there was already people inside.
I couldn't believe it. It was like a nightmare.
Velasquez says a woman named Charmaine and her boyfriend Cordero moved in, claiming they
Usual suspects. Charmaine and Cordero. Is that what they said their name is? Let me see one more time.
already people inside.
I couldn't believe it. It was like a nightmare.
Velasquez says a woman named Charmaine and her boyfriend Cordero.
Charmaine and Cordero with matching jackets, the usual suspects. Shout out to Chicago for having bad laws that allow for squatters to continue to do some of the most egregious things inside of the community, and then you can go in and take over other people's properties. Shout out to Crook County. Shout out to the areas around Chicago that support this bullshit and this dumb stuff, and they continue to let people go in and mess up people's properties and then mess stuff up, and they protect criminals. I'm just going to go ahead and go off before even knowing the story because this is stupid. This is so dumb. You should be able to get people that is trespassing on your, that's trespassing, not right to squat. It's trespassing. If it is owned by somebody else and you do not own it and you are in there illegally, you should be able to protect your property against the people. Next time y'all have vacant property, set up bear traps. Enough of this.
Moved in, claiming they recently purchased the property. He says the couple showed police this mortgage document, but Cook County confirms they don't see this mortgage on record. Velasquez's realtor recorded this video as the couple explained to police they had a right to be there.
And then they're going to sit there and argue with the police officers. And we've handcuffed police officers so much that they're not able to do nothing. And so now you see people that are basically taking advantage of the system, as usual, but yet they want to tell you that the system is against them. They in there living rent-free, squatting on people's properties. They drive around looking for vacancies, and then they go in and they take over, and the police is unable to remove them. We still dealing with this. We was talking about this last year and the year before. I know that Florida updated their squatters' rights laws to basically remove them and allow for people to go in there and get people off of their properties immediately. Why can't they do the same thing in Chicago? Now, of course, you know that the mayor is probably busy bloviating and making sure that he supports businesses and trying to understand exactly what's going on with the immigration crisis. But why can't people go in and take control of their property? How you gonna mess up somebody else's money? What are you doing? And then, as usual, again, you see the same YNs. Let's just say ONs at this point. The same ONs going in and tearing up properties, and they're going to sit there and argue with the police, and they feel comfortable. You know, there was a time in life where the criminals didn't feel comfortable being around the police officers because they knew that they was going to get arrested. Now they feel emboldened.
Y'all bogus right now. I listen, bro.
He says police told them under Illinois' current law, they couldn't remove anyone.
I said I'm not moving out, and I said at the one point they gotta leave. They gotta get tired of us being in the property. I called a couple of friends, stay overnight, and I knew they were not gonna like that.
So you're telling me that you and your friends came in and moved in with them?
Yes.
Velasquez says he, his wife, and their friends got a few air mattresses and spent the night with the alleged squatters.
We stayed in the living room. We were watching all the time the door. They stayed in one of the bedrooms.
The next morning, he says he realized they were not budging.
They're like, oh, well, we want $8,000.
Velasquez.
Jesus Christ. You don't know who you're dealing with. Listen, man, these is black people. They are comfortable. What you think, that they're going to go out and find somewhere else to stay while you stand with them? You just made yourself uncomfortable. And Illinois state law prevents them from being able to be moved out. Ain't that crazy? So the state, the city, the county, everybody is in on it. Everybody is in on making people uncomfortable on a property that you are not supposed to be in. That is crazy. And then the people demanded $8,000 to get out. Jesus. It's got to be a different way. It's got to be a different way. God, ain't no way in the world. I'm putting dogs in my place. I'm doing everything. Everybody gonna be uncomfortable. Everybody got to get out. You got to go, bro. I'm not gonna wait for the courts so y'all could tear it up and destroy Man, what the hell is going on, bro?
Says they negotiated. He had the couple sign a cash for key agreement, and he paid them $4,300 to leave.
We wouldn't want to give them money, but we heard, really bad stories about squatters taking over properties 6, 8, 10 months, even a year.
Velasquez says
That's
weeks
crazy.
later, a CPD detective called them, informing them that one of the alleged squatters is the same woman accused of squatting in Marcia and Carlton Lee's home after leaving his property. In the Lee's case, Charmaine Powell Gillard was arrested and charged with burglary, forgery, obstructing identification, and criminal residential trespassing.
Okay, so if she was charged with all of this, how is she still out on the streets? If she's charged with all of these things, burglary, trespassing, forgery, having fake documents, they doing it again, how are they still on the streets is what I'm asking. This is how you know not only is the laws against law-abiding citizens, but also, and this is specifically in this sanctuary city of Chicago, but also on top of that the laws are not made to keep criminals from continuing to doing criminal behavior. She charged with all of this stuff, but she out on the streets doing whatever she want to do when she want to do it. Ain't nobody charge her, ain't nobody put her in jail, ain't nobody hold her accountable. And she's still doing the same thing with that stupid smirk on her face, taking advantage of the people, taking advantage of the system. And now he had to pay her. He negotiated. She's a great negotiator too. $8,000 and then it negotiated down to $4,300 in order to get her out the property.
Forgery, obstructing identification,
Horrible.
and criminal residential trespassing. In the meantime, Velasquez says he's working with a detective, and he hopes action is taken in his case, too.
Good
I
luck.
heard stories before about squatters. I never thought it was going to happen to me.
The accused squatter, Charmaine Powell Gillard, said claims that she is a squatter are false and unfounded, and wrote, quote, innocent until proven guilty. We also reached out to her alleged boyfriend, Codero, but have not heard back.
Of course you haven't, because these people are criminals. They taking advantage of the system. They're also supported by the state and the city and the county. They're not going to press charges, even if they do go before a judge. First of all, you got the Safety Act, but even if they do go before a judge, then they'll probably just get a slap on the wrist, probably a fine that they'll never pay, and then they'll move over to the next person and create havoc on their home too, just like they just did with him. And they are not discriminatory. They're going to do it to black people. They're going to do it to white people. They're going to do it to Mexican people. They're going to do it to Asian people. They're going to do it to Latino people. They don't care. They only care about themselves. Nasty, evil, and then have and then have the nerve to have a boyfriend on top of it. Ain't that some stuff? And then have the nerve of you to also have somebody that is supporting you. Y'all women out here talking about y'all can't find no man, and where's all of the men at, and where's all of the real ones at that'll hold you down and all of that. Charmaine got him. Charmaine got a man that is supporting her and making sure that she squats on properties that she's not supposed to be in against somebody else's will, and she's going to continue to take advantage of the system. Shout out to Charmaine. Charmaine is showing you that it's real. She's also showing you her real estate prowess, and she's showing you how to exploit the system to where she will not get held accountable by the state, by the city, and she's supported by her sisterhood and her constituents. There's got to be another way, bro. It's got to be another way. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T. Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. And make sure you subscribe to the platform. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.